Welcome to a saga as old as faith itself. Behold the tale of King David, a man whose very name evokes visions of valor and virtue, yet his journey through the corridors of power will lead him to a reckoning with the heavens above. Prepare yourselves, dear viewers, for a journey into the heart of darkness, where the boundaries between mortal and divine blur, and the price of pride is paid in blood. In the height of his reign, King David, known for his victories in battle and his devotion to God, became consumed by his own accomplishments. His kingdom was flourishing, his armies were strong, and his wealth seemed boundless. In his pride, he desired to know the extent of his dominion, the full measure of his might. So, against the counsel of his advisors and the warnings of his conscience, David ordered a census to be taken of all the fighting men in Israel. As the count progressed, David's satisfaction turned to unease, and then to dread. With each tally, it seemed as if he was trying to quantify his own greatness, to measure his worth in numbers. His once unshakable faith began to waver as his heart swelled with arrogance. The consequences of his actions were swift and severe. The prophet Gad came to David with a message from the Lord, condemning him for his prideful folly. God saw David's census not as a mere tally of soldiers, but as a reflection of his lack of trust in divine providence. By seeking to enumerate his strength, David had placed his faith in numbers rather than in God's protection. In divine wrath, God offered David a choice of punishments: 3 years of famine, 3 months of fleeing from his enemies, or 3 days of pestilence in the land. Overwhelmed by guilt and remorse, David chose the latter, preferring to face the direct consequences of his sin rather than the hands of his enemies. The angel of the Lord descended upon Israel, spreading a deadly plague that ravaged the land. From the moment the first victim fell, David was consumed with anguish, pleading with God to spare his people from further suffering. In a desperate act of contrition, he built an altar on the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite and offered sacrifices to God, begging for mercy. Moved by David's repentance, God relented and stayed the hand of the angel. The plague ceased, but not before claiming the lives of 70,000 men throughout Israel. The story of David's census serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of pride and the consequences of forgetting our dependence on divine grace. It is a testament to the power of humility, repentance, and the enduring mercy of God.